how's it going there, guys? Real life Peter Griffin here, and you're watching Crazy Games Productions.
What is troubling you, Thomas?
Rob, it's just the next Mario game I have to review.
Is Super Mario Sunshine really a bad game?
Well, of course not! It's just that for the past 11 years, a lot of critics on the internet just decided to hate on this game for the minimal reasons whatsoever. It feels like they just hate on this game for freaking clout, and I don't like it.
You do not have to hide from the truth. Do what you have to do and review it. Let the people know how you feel about this game.
You're right! I can't hide the truth from people. I have to show the people why this game was misunderstood for all the wrong reasons. Oh man, I really need a shave. Rob, cue the intro while I clean up. Greetings everyone, I am Thomas the Retro Nerd, reviewing the games good or bad. When I mentioned before that there was a 6-year gap after Super Mario 64, there was a reason!
Despite the development issues, Super Mario 64 sold extremely well and gave birth to the collectathon genre of games. Even Rare jumped onto this trend with their own hits like Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong 64. It has been very popular since the late 90s and throughout the 2000s, or aughts as a lot of people like to call it. Man, that's stupid. As for Nintendo, they tried and failed twice to make a Mario 64 sequel. After some tech demos in Space World 2000, development for the next game would be shifted to the next console, the Nintendo GameCube. Another childhood classic. Because of the 6-year gap, the game was rushed into development, and from my latest experience, I could see that.
Like I mentioned before multiple times, I wouldn't get my Nintendo GameCube until Christmas 2003, but I do remember the commercials that aired back in 2002.
The world's a special place. Cherish life and never waste.
Everyone loves a sunshiny day. We're gonna keep it that way.
Cause clean is better than dirty, and dirty's meaner than clean.
It did scratch my head a bit. A Mario game with an environmental message? How would that work? Well, in the spring of 2004, I finally got a copy for myself, and I enjoyed what I played.
For the past 11 years, I've seen reviews where a lot of people have bashed, ridiculed, drunk and stupid, and all around became the Mario game that everyone loves to hate. It's been about 13 years since I last beat this game. And don't worry, I'm not going to be jumping on that stupid bandwagon. I'm just going to give you my honest thoughts on a video game that is completely underrated.
By booting up the game, we get the opening cutscene. It starts with Mario and Peach,
Who are still a couple, by the way, suck it, Nintendo.
along with Toadsword, have decided to take a vacation on the tropical paradise Isle Delfino, a home of the residents of the island, the Piantas. Well, the first thing I can't defend, the Piantas suck. I'm not saying they're all bad, but half of the popularity have palm trees for brains. By the way, I love Peach's look in this game, summer beauty at its finest.
I want a diamond ring, I want some bracelets and everything. Daddy, you better get the best for me.
Anyway, it's too bad, however. As they arrive, the plane they were taking crash lands because of some mysterious ooze they discovered. By the way, this is the first game to introduce us to Toadsworth, voiced by Scott Burns. Peach, voiced by Jen Taylor, who also voiced the Toads in this game, noticed a shadowy figure a couple of times. However, it disappears before she can tell Mario. Speaking of Mario, he does some searching and comes across his companion in this game, Flood, known as the Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dowsing Device. I like how it scans Mario, and we get to see some clips from Mario 1, Mario World, and even Mario 64. Nice touch! The main gimmick of this game is to spray water everywhere with Flood. It really helps out with the best controller for the console. There are many examples why the GameCube controller is still the most popular controller Nintendo has ever made. By the way, I've been using the awesome Wavebird controller while playing this game. I love how it's wireless, but due to using two AA batteries, it removes the rumble feature. Crud. Nevertheless, the shoulder buttons are analog, and they work well for this game. Slightly pressing R lets Mario spray water while moving, while pressing R down lets you spray water while standing still, and using the control stick to aim. Y enters in third person mode for better aim, and with a little playing around, you can pull out some neat tricks like spraying a backflip, water sliding with a small spray and dive, and a sprinkler spray while rotating the joystick. That's just the beginning. By pressing X, you can switch to the hover nozzle, which lets Mario glide for a few seconds. It's mostly used to get to other platforms as Mario can't normally make it with a jump, but it doesn't break the game. It may be different from Mario 64, but being on its own, it helps give the game a unique taste. So, after giving a taste of Flood and defeating this creature called a polluted piranha, some of the residents started blaming Mario for this mess, which is bullshit since we all arrived a few minutes ago. After grabbing this mysterious thing, the cops arrive and drag Mario to court. The problem is that the entire island has been polluted by some mysterious ooze, and Mario has been blamed for all this and for the so-called shine sprites to disappear. All because of this crude drawing of our hero.
It is none other than Mario!
Overruled. I judge the defendant guilty as charged.
After watching Judge Judy for years as a kid, this court case looks extremely rigged, and the judge refuses to see solid concrete evidence before throwing the book at him.
I hereby order the defendant to clean this entire island. Until Isle Delfino is completely free of his vile handiwork, Mario shall not be allowed to leave.
It's like I'm watching Dumb and Dumber. Huh? Right? Don't you love it?
Let's try to figure out which one is Jim Carrey.
Yeah, so you're right. Me too.
Because of this, Mario is forced to clean up the mess he didn't even cause.
And remember, we'll be watching you, pal. We'll know if you start slacking off.
What the hell is going on here? Well, it turns out there is a water-like doppelganger of Mario that is the cause of all this. The same shadowy figure Peach saw earlier. Speaking of which, as soon as the faker sees Peach, yoink! He didn't get far enough. Defeating the Shadow Mario is easy. So the ultimate goal of this game is to collect the Shine Sprites, the game's equivalent to Power Stars, and defeat Shadow Mario to clear our name. There are many different tasks to collect Shine Sprites, like defeating the game's bosses, a giant green wiggler, Gooper Blooper, Eely Mouth, and a couple of first-timers, or sort of kind of like King Boo, but I first saw him in Luigi's Mansion, and the fan favorite Petey Piranha. Other shines are located in secret spots, the returning red coin missions, seriously there's a buttload of red coin missions in this game, and in some secret tunnels that warp you into one of those floodless levels. Most of these levels are quite enjoyable, and they challenge you on your platforming skills without requiring the use of FLUDD. However, some of them can cause trouble if you don't understand, like the Chuckster level. As you collect the shine sprites, not only it does slowly revive the shine around the island, but it also advances the plot. As you get the specific amount of shine sprites, a mysterious Koopa submarine arrives at the docks. As we approach, we see that Shadow Mario fully captures Peach and takes her to Peanut Island. Once arriving, Shadow Mario summons a giant Mecha Bowser to attack. Mario manages to destroy this thing with some rockets on a coaster. Pretty unique for a boss fight. Once defeated, we get the biggest plot twist of the game. Turns out Shadow Mario is revealed to be another new character for this game, Bowser Jr., voiced by Dolores Rogers, the true son of the King of the Koopas. And I believe that. He looks exactly like his father as a baby. Anyway, Jr. has been kidnapping Princess Peach, believing she is his mother.
Leave my mama alone, you bad man. I won't let you take Mama Peach away. Mama Peach? I'm your mama?
So yeah, Bowser Jr. was the one who planted the graffiti around the island with a certain paintbrush he obtained.
A strange old man in a white coat gave it to me. A strange old man in a white coat.
A strange old man in a white coat. Flood, where are you manufactured from?
From Gad Science Incorporated.
Yes, Professor Alvin Gad from Luigi's Mansion was the one who made both Flood and the magic brush. He helped Luigi, but caused Mario's demise later on.
You son of... Wait a minute! I just realized something.
Junior impersonated Mario to pollute the entire island so the real Mario can get framed and thrown in jail, and while Mario stays in his cell, Bowser would have Peach for his own without anyone getting in his way. What? 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 Anesthetic! This is the smartest plan Bowser has ever came up with! Why wasn't anyone talking about this more? Alright, I'm losing my cool. Well, since Bowser is unaware of the terms of community service, Junior recaptures Peach and takes her away to the final area of the game, Mountain.
Dang it, Thomas editing this. Did you censor me for saying Corona as a joke? Freaking hate that guy.
Anyway, to gain access to Corona Mountain, we have to defeat Shadow Mario in all the areas. There are a total of 7 areas in this game, and Shadow Mario is always located in episode 7. Ha! Lucky 7s. The only big difference is that you don't need a certain number of shine sprites to get to the final level. You only need to get the first 7 shine sprites in each of the courses, with the 7th being a showdown where you chase Shadow Mario. As you get further into the game, you'll unlock the 2 nozzles in this game, Rocket and Turbo. Rocket is self-explanatory. Hold down the R button to charge and see Mario blasting up into the air. Very useful to get to higher places. And Turbo is my favorite because of how fast you can go on land and on sea. With this game only having 7 areas, Nintendo, when making Mario Sunshine, went all in one theme and expanded based on this theme. In most of the Mario games, obviously when making it, there's going to be different themes on each of the levels. You know, the standard stuff in the series, but you might understand what I'm saying, so I won't waste my breath. Focusing on a summer theme, they went all out, creating unique set pieces and areas on Isle Delfino. Heck, throughout the game, you can see the other courses from a distance, adding to the depths of the world. Isle Delfino has its villages like Bianco Hills and Pianta Village, but there's also a shipyard that is a construction site in Rico Harbor. In my opinion, one of my favorite levels. Pina Park is a theme park to the west of the Big Island, and there are even some beaches like Gelato Beach or even Serena Beach with a hotel and casino. Mario in a hotel. Haha, no. There is even a village called Noki Bay, which is a big fishing village home of the Nokis, where you need to clean up the dirty teeth of a giant eel later on in the game. Much like how Woohoo Island on Wii Sports Resort in comparison feels alive. Nintendo put a lot of care and thought into making Isle Delfino feel like a distant getaway compared to what players were used to at the time with the Mushroom Kingdom. This is also the game where Yoshi made his playable debut in 3D. Yoshi, I think, for the most part, works great here. Much like Flood, he can spray, except instead of water, it's his stomach juice, which is not only gross, but he can refill it by eating fruit. By doing so with a specific fruit also changes his skin color, which is neat. Yoshi could also flutter jump while holding Mario, much like he could on Yoshi's Island, letting Mario get extra airtime. The only thing is, whenever Yoshi enters a body of water, he dies. I don't like how this species of Yoshi hate water. I'm glad they don't exist anymore. All this frustrates me in the final Rico Harbor mission. You need Yoshi to beat it, and this Yoshi is a picky pucker. He flat out refuses any other fruit except for durian, the only fruit you can't pick up because it hurts with its spikes, and when you open it, it smells like a skunk's ass. Plus, with a combination of other things to do around the level and trying to land on the tiny platforms.
I'm this close! How can I miss the platform when I'm this close? Go! I don't care about the other fruit. Give me a fucking durian. Get me the fuck out.
So Sometimes Mario has to climb to the top of an out-of-control Ferris wheel, where the camera always glitches out for some reason, obscuring my vision. 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
You gotta be absolutely joking with me right now.
Or sometimes Mario has to stop a manta ray that brings in the goo on Serena Peach, that gets smaller as it gets sprayed, but also will go quicker and quicker and can electrocute Mario. I remember being scared of that manta ray when I was a kid and didn't have the guts to beat him.
Yeah, I'm pathetic. Just in case you're not a completionist, a lot of Mario Sunshine's collectibles are optional.
Sometimes you'll find secret courses in Delfino Plaza, like the lily pad one, which isn't that hard. You're over-exaggerating about it. Or the pachinko course, which I swear is a little glitchy because the physics in this one just don't feel right. Heck, some of the residents of Isle Delfino also have shine sprites themselves, like this guy who gives Mario 2 for smashing crates on 2 different occasions.
Again, Piantas have palm trees for brains, ergo, they're stupid.
But there's also the optional 8 shine sprite in each course that, for the most part, is fun to do. Like the 8 shine sprite in Gelato Beach, where you have to move a big watermelon from the top of the level all the way down to the bottom, which people complain about, but really isn't that hard to do. But aside from optional shine sprites, there are still other big collectibles in this game that you need if you want to 100% it, which are all 240 of the blue coins. Okay, so basically, you have these 2 bears who live on Isle Delfino, and then when you give 10 blue coins, 2 will give you a shine sprite. These bears have a total of 24 shine sprites, which means that if you want to 100% the game, you're going to need to find all 240 of the blue coins, and some of them are very well hidden. There's a total of 30 in each level, 20 in Delfino Plaza, and 10 in Corona Mountain. It's not too hard if you know where a lot of them are, and especially so if you use a guide to find them. But man, what are these 2 bears doing with nearly a fourth of all the shine sprites in the game? My guess is they're selling them like fucking cocaine. So, by the time you beat Shadow Mario in Pianta Village, Delfino Plaza gets flooded, which unlocks the volcanic area, Corona Mountain. This area isn't all that hard, aside from the insta-kill spikes that pop up on the platforms if you're not careful enough. Controlling the mud boat can also be tricky to handle, especially getting the final blue coins around here. Getting to the end of the level, Mario gets a rocket nozzle from a nearby box, letting him zip up into the clouds and find none other than Bowser himself.
Mario! How dare you disturb my family vacation?
Who's above Isle Delfino with Peach kidnapped. Bowser himself in this game is a total pushover. Just use the rocket nozzle and do a big ground pound on the end of the platforms until it's broken, and everyone falls from the sky. After that, we see a nice ending with Flood, unfortunately not being able to survive.
Mario, was I,
And Mario and Peach off to finally have a nice vacation on the island, celebrating that the shine sprites have been restored to the island. Just kidding, Flood end up surviving, and we even see Bowser in an admittedly goofy scene bonding with Bowser Jr. The credits roll with a slideshow of Mario and company enjoying a vacation on Isle Delfino, ending Mario's Sunshine. Now, the biggest thing that people complain is the 100% completion. The only bitch about is that you get a freaking postcard, freaking bragging rights, like every Mario game ever, and people don't complain about bragging rights with Mario games. All they bitch about is this fucking postcard. You kind of forgot. Did you know that Mario had that cool Sunshine shirt? It's the same shirt I've been wearing throughout the entire video. You talk to this Pianta and Mario gets this cool outfit after you get 100% completion. Now, no one talks about that, but they just bitch about the fucking postcard. And that is fucking pathetic. I'm sorry, I had to get that out of the way because people are acting pathetic when it comes to it. In conclusion, while this may not be the greatest title in the Mario series, Super Mario Sunshine is still a great game with a lot of merit to it, with Nintendo going all out with a summer theme and creating an island that feels very alive. With both Koji Kondo and Shinobu Tanaka, the tropical themed soundtrack adds to the atmosphere of the game, and graphically, it aged very, very well, being the generation where 3D games really started to look great, especially after the N64 and PS1 first brought games into 3D. Even Charles Martinet himself declared Mario Sunshine an underrated game. Mario Sunshine may be a little rushed and a little glitchy, but give this game a chance. You won't regret trying one of the most experimental games in the series. One that I wouldn't mind Nintendo going and experimenting with again.
Oh. That was a lot of fun taking a look at another childhood classic, even though it was ridiculed a lot on the internet. But nevertheless, it was a lot of fun. But you might be thinking my next review is going to be the Super Mario Galaxy games on the Nintendo Wii. Honestly, that's not going to happen. I might hold it off until Christmas time because there are a few other projects I wanted to take care of before this year ends. So, nevertheless, I'm Thomas the Retro Nerd. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next review.